The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri with my mom. She's in studio. She was here with us yesterday for Kathy Griffin. She's here again today.
Yes, I am.
And Brian is in New York where he is visiting family for Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, hello. I'm in Long Island.
Oh.
You say in or on?
I'm on Long Island.
Oh. Okay. I was really proud of myself when I adopted saying on Long Island instead of in. And then Brian just threw me
because I said in
curveball
first.
there. Yeah, you said in. And I know
Long
that
Islanders
you're from
say
there.
on. Yeah, no, I'm from there, so you know.
Well,
Now, do you stay at the grocery store? Do you wait online or do you wait in line at the grocery store? Seriously.
I wait in line, I think. I'm in line.
Yeah, I always
I'm in line
waited
at the
in
grocery
line.
store.
I'm
Yeah.
in line. But people say I first, Wendy Liebman had a joke that she was like, I met my boyfriend online at the grocery store. And that was the first time I ever heard that turn of phrase to describe a grocery store.
Online. That's not even.
No,
right.
yeah, these people are waiting online.
Oh,
like that
words.
means like before online was a thing, I think it meant like in line.
Oh, never
It's like-
heard that.
In St. Louis, we have a saying that no one else, it's only regional to St. Louis.
What is it?
In high school, and Chris knows this too because he's St. Louis high school. If you are from St. Louis, in high school when we would hook up, or if there was a hookup that was going on, and hooking up meaning like anything like butt sex, not butt
sex?
but not butt sex. No one was doing that in high school that I knew of. We didn't go to a Mormon school, but we everything except sex. If you were just like hooking up, making out to blowjobs, I think maybe was called you got on them.
I have never.
Did you get
heard
on
that.
each other this weekend? Oh my God. Rachel got on Joey this weekend. They got on each other.
Never
and it
heard.
sounds so stupid now, but it was just the way we said it. And it sounds so stupid because it literally just sounds like they just sat on each, like one climbed on top of the other and then they just sat, which is kind of what you think sex is when you're a kid.
I don't think you'd
Sure.
ever like say those words in front of me in high school.
Yeah, we probably said the gay, the got, the gone, the geet, the got, the
Exactly.
gur. We probably said it in
That was
gibberish.
enough to drive
Yeah.
a parent crazy.
God, that made me feel crazy just now.
Yeah.
You saying that made me feel crazy. And I'm
It's
not your
awesome
parent.
though. Gibberish is amazing. Every kid should learn it because it's a secret language your parents don't speak.
Or they'll never figure out. Lauren tried to teach me, and I was like, I cannot figure this out.
It's very hard. No, I
But
think
do you
has gotten
understand it? I mean, you understand
yeah,
each
no.
other?
Yeah, we could talk with the geek to the gan to the gawk to the goo with the geek to the got to the girl the guy to the this the gan to the go for the gear for the geek for the gas get the gan with the geek to the go with the geek the cars to the game. It's
What does
I
that
just said
mean?
we could talk to each other this fast and we know exactly what we're saying. It's just I'll teach you how to. You'll learn it quickly because you have a good like math kind of like logical mind. But I'll teach you too someday. It's pretty easy
For
to
some
learn.
reason, it upsets me.
It does. It sounds. It's awful. It's
frustrating.
like John Early has a bit in his special where he says like whenever you download a new app on your phone, it says like, is it okay if this app would share information with other apps? And then it's one of the options are allow, and then the other option is ask app not to track. And he's like, ask app not to track. And he was like, you could have just said not allow, do not
Yeah.
allow. No, but it was like ask app not to track. And he does this whole thing, and it's so funny. But yeah, gibberish is it sounds upsetting. I understand.
Who taught you?
Yes.
The geese, but the goys, the gone, spit the gang, brother gay. These boys on spring break.
Oh, I was gonna.
We were on spring break as junior year, and these guys taught it to us, and we were like, it just
Wow.
opened. It's like because it sounds as foreign as a foreign language, but it's English,
It's
and
totally-
it's easy to learn. You can learn it in one day, and then it takes a while to get fast at it, but you can understand it just as much as you can speak it. It's one of the coolest things ever because it's.
It really is.
That's the cool thing about a foreign language is that it just sounds so cool, and it sounds like nothing you could ever understand, and people could talk about you, and you wouldn't even know it. You have that at your fingertips in gibberish. You just don't know it.
You guys had that little club.
Yeah, I'm sure it was frustrating for you guys.
I just would go, I'm so mad. Why are they doing
but
that?
we were never talking about anything too bad.
bull.
We were talking about like, oh, Taylor stole a necklace today. It was not like we were like doing drugs. Like we weren't like the movie,
I thought you were
Traffic.
talking about me. That's what
That's
you fear.
That's
the fear.
Yeah, we didn't care about it. The scarier part is we weren't thinking about you at all. Parents are just like in the way,
know what's
That's got to be the
interesting?
fear.
I know that Taylor's on the podcast, so you talk about your experience in high school a lot, but it feels like you have so many things from high school that have
It was the best time of my life.
formulated your entire personality, but nothing, almost nothing from college, like almost
Nothing.
zero.
Because college for me was doing stand-up. It was like right away I discovered stand-up, and then I just was doing that, and then there was nothing. And in college, it was like the pressure was on to find a career, make money. Like I realize now that like my parents' money isn't just my money until I die. Like there's all these things, the pressure sets in high school. There's just like this freedom to, and I just got extremely lucky. I always emphasize that when people didn't have a good, pleasant high school experience, there's nothing wrong with you. Like I just got lucky that my parents didn't move halfway through my sophomore year and I had to start over. And I just got lucky that I wasn't in the grade above mine or below mine, that I was born in the right month, that I got to meet Kirsten and Taylor and Hala and Huffy and these hilarious women. I just hit the jackpot. And it doesn't happen to a lot of people, but I just got really lucky with those friends. Obviously, they're still a huge part of my life.
I would say.
Talk about getting lucky. Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
So back in 2013, there was this really like kind of cute shop on 10th Avenue. I lived on 10th Avenue and 22nd Street with Anya Marina. And I would walk to Equinox every day. And there was this really cute shop that had all these like really high end clothes that I wouldn't even possibly think of buying. I mean, like we're talking like $300 shirts and $400 sweaters and all this stuff. But I would sometimes go in and just kind of like touch things and like think about what, like maybe I just got a good check in the mail from this show. Maybe I can spend it on this, but I still wasn't comfortable buying that stuff. And there was this one sweater that I just like was obsessed with. And I would stop in and look at it and go like, I really want that. I just can't though. But I memorized the brand name and I tried it on, and I'm not like this with clothes. Like I've never become like attached to a thing. In fact, a lot of times I will like see something I like and I'll be about to buy it. And then I go, nope, put it back. If you keep thinking about it, that means you should get it.
Gotcha.
Like, don't like wait a little bit, like really convince yourself you want it. Do you know how many carts I have going on right now? It's insane. I got a message the other day that said your Abercrombie cart is thinking about you, Nikki.
Wait, you still shop at Abercrombie?
Oh, it's one of the best places to buy stuff.
You are kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. Anytime I get compliments on my jeans, I go Abercrombie because they do long.
Oh.
And so girls with long legs. And they also do short. I mean, the Abercrombie jeans I complimented a girl at a meet and greet one time for her jeans, and she said Abercrombie, and I've been on that boat ever since.
Jeez.
Damn.
But so I loved this. I lavished this sweater, and I thought about it for years, and I was searching all over for it all the time. Like I would search on eBay, and I would search on Poshmark, and just do like, and this was 10, 11 years ago. And then the other night, it just occurred to me like, I'm just going to run my search again. And I fucking found it, and it's the sweater I'm wearing right now.
Kidding me.
It has stars on it. It is like everyone makes this kind of sweater now that has like stars on it, but nothing. It's never as finely made as this. It's cost me $100 as opposed to like I think $350 was the original price.
Wow.
It's in mint condition. It's a size large, which I thought was going to be too big, but if it was any smaller, I would hate it. It's perfect. I just opened it. I'm fucking psyched, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is my white whale, but I don't know. Have you guys ever had a thing that you've been looking for your whole life? They talk a lot about that in the thrift store subreddit of like, I found my white whale.
I never heard that.
What is it?
100% white whale. Back in 2009 or something like that, Whole Foods would sell these green reusable shopping bags that were the perfect size, and you could fit like almost 2 shopping carts full of groceries in this one bag.
Yeah.
And then they would expand. And then the one like thing that people don't like about it is that the opening is like a little smaller than the bag itself. So sometimes it's hard to get things in there. But once it's in there, they're locked in.
It's not going anywhere.
Not going
You can
anywhere.
set it down and it's not going to spill out.
I would put
So it's
all
like a
this
volcano
shit.
shape.
It's volcano shaped almost, a little less extreme than that.
Right,
It's like
right,
a volcano that had recently exploded.
Okay,
And
okay.
I would put that bag on my bike and like ride home from the grocery store with it. Nothing would go wrong. And I still have the bag. I've been using it and reusing it. I've had this bag for 15 years and it has a little hole in it. And it still works. You can put it in the washing machine. But I was like, I love this bag so much. I want to go buy another one. So I went online. I went on eBay. I went everywhere. I called Whole Foods. They don't make the bags anymore. You can't find them anywhere. These green shopping bags. I called Whole Foods. I called Mr. Foods, and he said
You
they
had
don't
like
make
the
them
SKU
anymore.
number, and they like typed it in, and they're like, "Sorry,
People
sir."
know what I'm talking about on the internet.
too.
too,
So
these
there's other
green
people
bags.
too that are like, "I'm obsessed with this bag."
Yes, because those, like the typical reusable bags that are made of like a plastic bottle that are crinkly and loud and aren't that good. Those are not great. They don't hold a lot of stuff. You can't fold them up. You can't scrunch them up into a ball and put them in your pocket. And the ones that you can scrunch up into a ball and put in your pocket have a big opening and things fall out. Try putting a normal like Trader Joe's bag that's not plasticky on the floor and everything will just flop out of it.
Yeah, that's a good
Especially
point.
on a bicycle.
Yes.
That's not going to work.
So if anyone has a lead on a green Whole Foods bag circa
Oh my God,
2009,
I'm looking now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mom's on it.
I
That's a white
love to
whale.
have something to look for at the thrift.
But you just told me, Mom, that sometimes you will like go to a thrift store and like feel like
I need a certain blouse or something.
for this thing coming up. Like I have like
Yeah.
a sparkly blouse,
Yeah.
and then it'll fucking appear.
I mean, I used to be really lucky in that department. If I needed something, I would go, I'm going to find it. I'm going to go in there and find it.
Well, that's the law of attraction, baby. I'm getting
Yeah.
into it. I know I've gotten into
Oh.
many things on this podcast where it's like, this is my new thing, but I really do believe manifestation. And like, if you believe that you have it, if you believe in your soul that you've already achieved it, that it's just going to happen, and you relax and you act as if it fucking happens.
I'm going to
And I was
work on that.
listening. Chris and I were watching Ellen DeGeneres' special, Relatable is the name of it. It's 2018 Netflix the other night, which is hilarious, by the way. It's so good. I just love her stand up. And but she says in it that she was like pretty like down and out. She had no talents. She had no aspirations. She was like an oyster shucker, and she worked in a grocery store. She like got all these
Damn.
jobs. But she just didn't know what she was doing with her life. She was in her early 20s.
New Orleans, right?
I don't know where
Yeah.
she was exactly. Yeah, maybe. But
an
she
oyster shucker.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they do down there.
and she said that she I didn't know this, but her partner, her girlfriend at the time, was in a horrible car accident, died. Ellen drove past it not knowing it was her.
Oh,
my
my
God.
God.
And she had to move out of their
Whoa.
house together, their apartment together, and she moved into this basement apartment, and that was just infested with fleas. So she was sleeping on the ground and there were fleas all over. And she was just like, what am I doing with my life? And she was like, she'd never done anything creative, really. Like had never even thought of comedy, didn't act, didn't sing, just was like, what am I even doing? And she was like, I'm just going to write a poem. She had no intention for it to be funny. She was like, because she was thinking about like, why do fleas get to exist? But then my girlfriend, this beautiful woman who had her whole life ahead of her, why is she dead? And she was like, I really wish I could ask God about this. And so she wrote a poem in which she was asking God about fleas and like, why are they around? And then she was like thinking, oh, if the poem I would call God, like it would probably, she wasn't even trying to be funny. She was like, the phone would probably ring a lot because it's a big place. And then she'd be put on hold, and the hold music would be, and then it was this religious song. Chris laughed because he's Catholic. I didn't know the song. She was like, but it would be that music playing, but it'd be live because it would be, and then she decided, she just had this moment as she was writing the poem. And this is just, what she says. So maybe it wasn't exactly what happened, but I believe her. She said in that moment, she was like, you know what? I'm going to tell this on the Johnny Carson show someday. She had never thought about doing stand-up. She had never thought about being a comedian. She had never thought about being an actress or anything. She was just like, I'm 100% going to say this on the Johnny Carson show someday. 6 years later, she does that exact joke on the Johnny Carson show. And she goes, and I'm going to, in this moment, while she's on her mattress writing this poem, she's like, and I'm going to be the first woman ever that's asked over to his couch. After
Wow.
doing it.
God.
And it happens, right? She finishes finishes
Do we
her-
believe her?
That's the thing. I paused the show and I was like, Chris, this is what I'm talking about. This is manifestation. If you just believe it so hard, like it doesn't matter. It will happen. And he was like, well, this is also like information bias, I guess, or what confirmation bias, where it's like we only hear the good stories of when this happens. We never hear
Right.
the people of like saying, I was going to be on Johnny Carson, but I never made it. We only
Yeah.
hear the stuff that goes well. And she could have changed the story to fit, to make it better.
Yeah.
I buy it because the more I've been looking into this, it's just, I've talked about it before, but it's like, there's science behind it. It's like, the quantum physics is about like, there's different realms happening. There's infinite realms happening where your life is going on in a different direction all the time. And if you visualize that version of your life, it will show up in your own. Like if you give attention to what you want, that thing will show up, and it has to be done in a certain way. Like I'm reading all these Instagram, subreddits about law of attraction and these different men who have like championed these different methods, and I'm listening to YouTube videos. I just don't know what to manifest because I kind of have a
what are
great
you
life. I keep
manifesting
going
right
I think right now I'm manifesting having I'm just gonna say it, like I have an award-winning special coming out that's Emmy award-winning, and it's and Taylor Swift wrote me about it and said that she really enjoyed it. She wrote me a personal note, and I don't want to share the details of it because it was personal and I feel like it's going to kick off our friendship, but she wrote me a personal note about how much she enjoyed it. She liked the shout out. And I'm up for an Emmy, and I just won it. That's so weird. And so after winning that Emmy, I just feel like my life is just kind of going in the direction I always wanted it to go. And I have this, I'm just like, my career is just like where I want it to be. I'm really, my body has changed because of Pilates. I enjoy Pilates so much. It's just become a practice that I don't even need to like work at.
Is this all manifestation?
Yes, this is. And I'm my niece's favorite aunt.
Oh, you always.
Poppy has declared that I'm her favorite.
That's not even.
I heard she's been asking about me.
Oh, is Nikki around? Where's Nikki?
Really?
Yeah.
You hear it too?
Is Nikki?
Why aren't you telling me about this?
Oh,
that's all I want to achieve in life is Poppy wanting me. I don't even care about, for some reason, just having the girl relative.
Wait till you see her and her little brace that she's.
I know she broke her clavicle.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
How'd she do that?
She fell off
riding.
her brother's shoulders and she broke her clavicle, and she's so cute in her little cast. I haven't seen her yet.
She just
in her little sling.
Oh, we went to the playground, which probably wasn't a good idea, but she's just like, she knows how to work it, like to go down the slide on one side.
Yeah, she's making do.
She's pretty good at it.
But back to her asking about me.
Oh, she did ask about you. I mean, she's like, is Nikki going to be there? Or
this is cool. This is good.
Yeah. Oh, she adores
This is always what
you.
I've wanted. Halloween, I found there was a turning point. She just started looking at me like when I wasn't looking at her. Almost like she has like the way when you know a guy has a crush on you, where you just like
checking you out a little.
You can just
more.
feel their stare where they're just kind of like studying your face. Like, I think I love her. Where you're just like, it hasn't happened to me in a while, right? But like there was just a vibe with Poppy where I'm like, oh, she's like very interested in what's going on with me now. And it's like, I even took Dad aside. I was like, I think something's turned with Poppy. Like she's very into what I've like. I think she's.
Don't worry, she'll be your
God,
girl.
That's all I want. Okay.
No, she'll be your girl.
Well, my mom. I was gonna say about this law of attraction thing. So that's what I'm manifesting. And if you have trouble figuring out what to manifest, which is a hard thing for people, you're supposed to say, "Wouldn't it be nice if?"
Oh,
yeah.
And then fill in the blank.
That's a good thing to do. And it's also if you take not like the Loki multiverse Marvel version of the why it works, but also if you just start thinking about that thing and believing it's true, it instills you with the confidence and starts planting the seed that will give you the plan and the confidence and the thoughts to go actually do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. I saw an Instagram with Reese Witherspoon the other day where she was talking about like, I just am confident all the time. I walk into auditions that I knew that I wasn't maybe right for, but I would just walk in and act like, oh, I already have the part. I mean, we've all heard this kind of thing before of just like act as if, but you can tell that's like
she's very confident.
She's so confident.
I mean,
have you heard her get arrested?
What is the fine line of manifesting versus lying to yourself
or luckiness? I mean,
it's not lying to yourself because if you believe it, like it's just there's just no. It's I guess it's not. I can't say it's lying to yourself because then that negates the whole thing. It's not. It's just knowing it's going to happen. There's no lying to yourself. And if you have that question in your head of like, this is me lying to myself, it ain't going to work. Like you got to be.
Go ahead and lie to yourself. Like, who gives a shit if you're lying to yourself? Like,
totally.
If it makes you feel better that you believe in Jesus and you're really religious and that just gives you low anxiety and makes you feel good, then even though maybe it's a lie, like go ahead and do that. It's like anything that makes you feel better.
People lie to themselves all the time about stuff to get through life.
Unless
No,
you're like
we-
hitting your, your wife and you're lying to yourself that you don't hit your wife. But if it's not
maybe
affecting
not that
anybody,
one.
don't do that one. But if it's not affecting anybody, then like go ahead and lie to yourself. Nothing wrong with lying.
I think it's I actually today I'm gonna have a call with my friend because I saw on the Law of Attraction subreddit, it said start involving other people in your manifestations. So find a friend who also wants to manifest something, and then you have a call congratulating each other about the thing.
Oh, yeah,
and act
that's
like
great.
it's already happened. So my friend and Kirsten and I are going to have a call later tonight at 6 p.m. where we both talk about the thing that we already both got. And I said, here's what you're supposed to congratulate me on. Here's what I'll congratulate you on. And we're going to have a full conversation as if it happened. And there's no question. There's no like, oh, this is weird. We're doing this. It's just is what it is.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna manifest that we're gonna have one of the best episodes ever coming back after this.
All right.
All right, we're back. Mom, yesterday's podcast with Kathy Griffin. Are you still so excited that you got to talk to her?
Well, she said I'm her girl, I think, basically.
She did.
I'm like, kidding.
she was into
She was
you.
like flirting with you, Julie.
She was kind of flirting with me.
Totally was.
How many times did she say, now, Julie?
I know. I love
her. No, she's really good.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's good.
She's good.
That was a great
She's
episode.
good.
She had a lot to say. It was really interesting to hear her perspective on what's happened to her. I didn't know any of that stuff that happened to her outside of the photo. And so I didn't even know she had lung cancer. So to share her story like that, and I have a prediction. I don't want to manifest on her behalf, but my prediction is that she goes out on tour, she starts working this new hour, and then the comeback is on. She's going to do an hour special that's going to be on some channel or streamer, and people are going to be like, I didn't know any of this about her story. And then, boom, she's back.
Yep. You're so right. That's what I meant by saying like media needs to get on board. Like people need to be confronted with her story again.
Yeah.
And then they'll forget about it. And everyone loves a comeback.
No, guess
Everybody
what?
It takes 6 years though sometimes. That's the shitty part. And during those 6 years, can you imagine having that many people hate you? Like it wouldn't take a Vicodin addiction to kill myself. It would take nothing. It would take that much online hate to want to kill myself. I don't think I would survive that.
No,
she's that many
so
people
brave and so strong. I mean, we didn't even hear. I know more about her life than just what she told us. She's been through a lot.
Yes,
she has been through, and she comes back.
She lost both of her brother and sister to cancer. She has one brother who is estranged, who was fucked with her when she was little.
Right.
She had obviously she lost both her parents within the past. She lost her dad, I think, in 90 or maybe early 2009 or something. Her mom in 2020,
and her mom lived with her for a while. And
she's been through. She's divorced. She had a guy steal a bunch of fucking money from her. Yeah, she's someone like, let's be honest, like Brian, as a comedian, people are quick to say, roll their eyes about her. Like they dismiss her.
People love to hate a woman. I think that's what it comes down to. If you have that many excuses to hate a woman, then they'll take them.
Oh, for sure. I'm glad you say that. It's hard for me to say that because as a woman, it's easy for me to say, I think it has something to do with that. But yeah, she's just such an outspoken one.
Well, I've been so proud of her. And when she did that photo, who gives a shit?
Well, she was making fun. If she was making fun of the fact that he said he was talking about Megyn Kelly and how when she was moderating the debate, she had blood coming out of everywhere, her eyes and her he was talking about Megyn Kelly possibly being on her period,
right?
And so he had a quote about she had blood coming out of her mouth, out of her eyes, out of her everywhere.
That wasn't Megyn Kelly. That was the girl from Joe, Morning Joe.
Oh, okay. Whoever that was. Yeah.
Minka.
Yeah. So he was making fun of that woman. Yeah. Sorry. And then, he'd never say that about Megyn Kelly.
Not Megyn.
Even when I said that, I go, why would he say that about her?
Yeah.
So she was doing a nod to that. She was like, okay, well, we'll make blood coming out of all of his stuff. And then you can't buy a whole body of him. So the mask made it look like a decapitated thing.
Why didn't she stand up for herself more?
She did. But her advice initially was to apologize because that's PR agents always say apologize. No. And it's the worst thing you can do is apologize because everyone.
Not for a joke.
No, you can't. I'll apologize for hurting people's feelings, but I won't. I'll just be like, I thought it was funny. I fucked up, but it's not good to
Once
apologize.
you apologize, the shark circle, the wolf circle, and they go,
It
she
sucks
knows
that way.
she's at fault here, so now we're going to destroy her.
Why
Whereas
is
if you
that?
What?
But that's why you know what, that encourages people to not apologize, which is a great thing when people apologize and admit they're wrong.
It's weakness.
Well, what about? I was more shocked when we were talking about celebrities and the story that she said about the Jay Leno show and a certain pop star.
Yeah. I was terrified if I had to encounter someone that I had talked shit about. I think there was one shocked. There was someone recently that I was going to be on the same thing as that. I was like, I wonder if they saw me say that thing on a special about them, or like, I like that she's just like went up to J-Lo and was like, I want to let's get a picture where you're mad at me. Like, cause I've said things about you. Like, she's just like brazen and brave.
She is so brazen and great. I love that about her. But God, the way she used to make fun of the Kardashians and it was great. I was like, somebody's got to say
That's what
this.
we need. I miss that. I miss just like comedians just ripping people apart and just making social commentary. Joan Rivers did it too.
Yes.
No one was.
But again, but people didn't like Joan Rivers either until she died. I'm sorry. It's like, it's the people that with taste did, but Joan Rivers is only lauded as like a legend after her death, after that documentary. Like, it had to take people to be like, here's an artful documentary to prove how hard she's worked. But before that, it was kind of like, I think the consensus was like, her voice is annoying, get her off E. She got canceled a couple times because she said she was making just jokes and it just went the wrong way. Like, there's so many times I've said jokes and people just go, when I did The View and Kelly Rowland got upset because she was just like, ew. Like, did you just say something that is just an innocuous joke? And people just go like, why would you say that?
They'll take her side too, because she said, "Ew."
Yeah, and then everyone's like suddenly like, she's more famous than that girl, so we're gonna be on her side,
right?
Except Rosie O'Donnell didn't. Rosie O'Donnell took my side and was like, "I'm sorry, that was fucking funny," and then she cussed, and she said it was the first time she's ever cussed on The View.
That's so funny.
Out of doing daytime TV for 20 years, she said it was the first time she ever cussed.
Good.
I know I told that before, but it's just one of my proudest moments. But it's just like this. I'm just struggling with the
Can I just say the reaction ew to any joke is repulsive to me.
It is. It is. Yes.
Like it's a joke. Like you getting disgusted at it is your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my joke was that, I'll tell it again. It was so stupid. we were just backstage getting briefed on what we were going to talk about on the show. Rosie O'Donnell was showing pictures of her kids in the bath the night before because they had put all these bath bombs that would make the color like the water a purple or pink or whatever. And I said, I had that as a kid, but it was always just yellow and I did it myself. And she just goes, ew. And I was like, it's just a fucking joke about me peeing in the bath. Like, it doesn't, and it just sucking all the life out of it.
Yeah. Brian, you're right about that.
It's not a great joke. It's just like, it doesn't deserve an ew though. And like, let's all alienate this girl on this show where I've been a regular before. I know my way around, but this girl's new. So let's say like, you're no fun.
Yeah. And it's an insult to go, ew. It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a judgment.
You know what? On the next Money Players, like special big
Diamond
players,
Club
Diamond Club. I'm going to tell another story about that person that that is the exact story. I actually crossed paths with that person again recently, and I've been vocal about my that I think she's not a nice person before, and so I was nervous to cross paths with her, and so I have a story I'm going to tell on the Diamond Players thing because I don't want it to get back to her. That's going to be behind a paywall. So stay tuned for that.
That's exactly how I feel about Kim Jong-un. If I'm ever on a Tonight Show with him, it's going to be awkward.
It is.
It could be dangerous for you too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly.
It's that's why I'm scared to ever see Taylor Swift, even though she did love my special that just is coming out.
She did.
What?
It's crazy that she did that.
Oh yes, she did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She
everyone's
commented on
talking
your
about
Instagram post. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, I wouldn't have predicted it, but I did manifest it. It did happen. But with her, I'm scared. I've said so much, and obviously something I've said before has come back to haunt me.
She doesn't care. She loves you.
Yeah, she's forgiven me. She
forgiven
gets that it all
Thank
comes from
God.
a place of love,
Right.
And just loving my girl. I love, and that's why I really do believe. Like, obviously, we're best friends. I'm manifesting this. Taylor and I'm in the zone.
You are going to be in.
I
with the girl.
love her so much. We're so happy for our girl finding Travis.
Yeah.
But Gigi Hadid is one of Taylor's best friends, and she is just as big of a Swiftie as I am. Like, just as obsessed, knows all the words, is just as. So I think that, me and Gigi really get along in that sense when we all hang out.
Well, you guys have discussed
that we are like almost like too fanatical to be her friend, but we're like, it's cool she lets us be her friend. Wow. It's nice.
I love this new life.
Do you know Joe Pera? The comedian?
Yes, he's
got a tour out right now, and he's calling the tour the Paras Tour, and it's a lowercase p and then capital ERAS.
That's so smart.
Yeah, Joe
that's
Pera.
really good.
And then also in Taylor Swift news, sort of. So last night in Monday Night Football was the Eagles versus the Chiefs. That was Travis Kelce versus Jason Kelce.
They were calling it like the brother.
Oh, the brothers
Blitz or something. The brothers.
Both football players.
They're both Travis.
Jason Kelce is a lineman on the Philadelphia Eagles, Pro Bowl lineman, and Travis Kelce is a tight end on the Chiefs, Pro Bowl tight end. And they played against each other in the Super Bowl last year. Chiefs won. Last night was a rematch of the Super Bowl, Eagles versus Chiefs. Eagles won. But interestingly, in the news is that in that game, Travis Kelce had a very important fumble in the red zone, and it basically was the reason why the Chiefs lost the game. Devastating. Taylor wasn't there. He has not lost when Taylor was there.
Taylor is there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, we're now starting to build the association. She's going to be expected at the games.
But also, Travis, in an interview or maybe on his podcast, started talking about how he's in a lot of pain all the time from all of his injuries. He's had 10 surgeries, and he's thinking that maybe this may be his last season. Now, whether that's he's gonna follow through on that or not, but he's saying he might retire soon, which is interesting because he was not saying that last year.
Leading to my prediction.
What's your prediction?
I don't know if I've said it yet, but I have a prediction for how it's all going to play out.
Oh,
okay.
Can you say
Taylor will be pregnant?
Oh my God!
Taylor will announce her pregnancy. This is my prediction. Taylor will be, and believe me, I don't want this to happen because the second she gets pregnant, our roads diverge. And
you're not manifesting this.
I met a bestie last night at my show at the Funny Bone, and she said to me, "Oh my God, when you were freezing your eggs, I was just like, no, because I'm not going to relate to you anymore if you do that." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's the way I feel about Taylor." So shout out to Sarah, who I met last night. She and I feel the same way about Taylor, like, because she's a Swiftie too. I signed her Taylor Swift shirt actually. And she was like, our girl's going to get pregnant. You know it, though. Like, we're going to lose her. And it's okay.
How old is she?
Because I want her to have everything she wants in life. She's 33. So she will announce the pregnancy, I believe. I'm predicting early 2025, spring.
Wait, are you predicting or manifesting?
No, this is prediction.
Everyone know.
This is prediction because I'm saying I will. Otherwise, I'd say it's happened. Wait,
it's already happened.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't studied it enough. If people have studied laws of attraction, please let me know of any more secrets that you can do.
You're saying in 2025?
Yeah, she is going to finish her Eras tour in November 2024. That time gives her body to relax. There will be, let me just change it, actually.
Yeah.
She needs a little time to relax, to recoup.
That's right.
There will be an engagement in the spring of 2025. There will be an announcement of a birth in the summer of 2025. There will be a wedding when she is pregnant. It's the new thing. She's going the other way. I don't think there'll be a wedding first. I think there'll be a baby first. I think Taylor does her own thing. I don't know why. I think that's the way it's going to happen. They'll get married. She'll be fully pregnant. This is going to happen sometime in the late summer, fall. She will give birth in the winter.
Are we in 26 yet?
Thinking December because I think she probably wants a baby around the same time as her. So this is December 2025. She will give birth to her first baby. And then she will have another baby with him By 2020, late 2026, she will announce again. 2027, 2028, there'll be 2 or 3 kids. There will be a divorce at some point. Now, this is not something I wish on her. It's not something I'm manifesting. This is just she will have a successful 6 to 10 year relationship with Travis Kelce. That's okay. That's a successful relationship. That's no judgment. Just because something doesn't last forever doesn't mean it's not good. I think that is a great long haul. But I want her out there again. I want her to find other love. I want her to do it all over again. She will date Harry Styles again. It'll come back around. They will date again in their 40s. They will get married. They will, and I do believe she will end up with Harry Styles. They will divorce. She will keep this going. This is what I wish for myself in a lot of ways. I like this. You just keep going. Everything doesn't have to last till you die. We live way too long for that. You got to she might get back with Travis. There'll be a second marriage after Harry. These are my predictions. Just based on the song Suburban Legends, which I believe is about Harry, as are the Volt tracks in 1989. Most of them are about Harry. Suburban Legends, I believe that she's talking about her high school reunion, that she has a fantasy of walking hand in hand with him together at their high school reunion after they've already been together and broken up. She's meaning the Grammys. That's her high school reunion. She sees it someday. They're going to walk back in together. Do I want her and Travis to last forever? Yes. I'm not saying anything bad. And by the way, none of this means anything. I wish my best friends divorce. I think it's a great thing that relationships ebb and flow and you get out. I don't I don't think divorce is a failure. So when I say that, I'm not speaking from a place of I want her to be in pain. I just want her to be in love again and write about it. So that's just and I think it's very hard to stay in a relationship when you're a celebrity forever. Unless you're Goldie Hawn and Russell Brand, Crowe, whatever it is.
They're not even married.
And they're not even married. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
She might not even get married. But I look forward to going to all the weddings.
Oh my God.
Yeah, by then you guys will be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even 2025.
Not after she heard that. I hope Taylor, if you heard that, you're not offended. I'm totally actually like joking about all of this. I honestly hope. I think Travis is your end game.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and I mean that by the song. And because when she did sing Endgame as one of her secret songs at a recent concert, there was a glimmer in her eye that we haven't seen before. And the way she ran to him, we didn't talk about it last week. And besties were dying for me to address it. But that run to him.
Where was this?
This was it wasn't Rio. It was whatever city she was in before Rio in her South American tour. She guts off stage. And he's waiting outside this like curtained area, and she runs off stage, and like as soon as she sees him, she starts running, and then runs into his arms. He twirls her around, they kiss, and then they put their arms around each other, and they went into a tent. Thank you for giving us that moment, because you know what? They could have done it behind a curtain. They could have just waited till they got in there, but they gave everyone that moment because that was one of the best days for girls and gay men. Was that day that we all got to share in them hugging and kissing. It was like the end of a rom-com scene. It was a beautiful, they swirled around. She gave us that moment, and people go, it's a PR relationship. You know, it can be, it's not PR necessarily to just give your fans what they want, and they want to see you happy and love. We all love to see that kind of affection. I thought it was a beautiful moment, and I'm really glad. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Travis, for not keeping that behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's great.
I really thought it was like we fucking collectively as Swifties freaked out when she did that. And it was the same show when she said, you know, she goes, "Karma is my boyfriend," you know, that song. And she goes, usually she used to be talking about Joe in the song, her ex-boyfriend in that song. And she was like, "Karma is the guy on the screen coming straight home to me." And it used to be Joe is the guy on the screen. He's in the movies. But at that show, she goes, "Karma is the guy on the Chiefs coming straight home to," and he didn't know. And he was like so excited.
I heard that. Yeah.
And I just love that they're like,
That's cute.
He's on his podcast talking about her. Like she's just a normal gal. She's getting talked about on podcasts. Like I really love it.
I'm happy for him. Really.
I've never been happier for anyone in my life. I don't think.
Nice.
And no one deserves it more than that girl. She works so hard. Yesterday she broke her heel in Rio. And she's going through a tough time with the Rio show. A girl died at her show.
What?
Yeah,
Horribly. Yeah, a girl died.
Well, they said
they
it
had
was
140 degree temperatures inside this damn stadium because they
exhaustion.
there was heat exhaustion. This girl passed out and died from complications from it. during Cruel Summer. So like at the second show of the thing, she passed out, dies. And so they canceled the second night show. People were dying for water. It's 140 degrees.
Why was it like that?
Because they shut the vents because they didn't want people outside of the arena watching or hearing.
Oh, God.
So they shut the vents, and they were charging $18 for a water bottle.
Oh my!
And they wouldn't let people bring in outside water. So it was.
I heard there's a new rule now.
1,000 people fainted. 1,000.
Oh my God!
That's one in 70 people.
Well, do you remember their water bottle issue? We would go to the.
So annoying.
You have to buy a water, and then they hand you a cup. And you have to pour your water bottle.
You can't throw, because water bottles are good to throw. Like they, with a cap on it, it kind of zips through the air, and you could throw it at
We
her.
all know that, don't we?
And a a big,
what are you doing, Julie?
A big plastic cup is harder to hurl because it would get caught in the air, and so
fill it with urine.
Yeah, and so God, so and Taylor did in a previous show, I think the night before the girl died, said like, "Hey, will you guys not throw things on stage? It really scares me." And so she like had to tell them. So I think but it's just been rough. And Taylor, I get like emotional thinking about it. But then, so she canceled the Saturday show because it was still horrible temperatures. The girl died on the Friday show. On Sunday night, she did the next set of, the next Rio show to make up for the Saturday. And during her secret song, she played the song Bigger Than the Whole Sky. And it's like, she also put out a statement prior to this after Anna's death, where she said, I am so heartbroken about this death. I can't talk about it on stage because I get too emotional. Just please know that I'm thinking about it. Like, it was just this. Anya told me this weekend, she was like, I read that statement and I was jealous of her empathy. Like, she was like, I just never cared about like anything that much. And you can just tell Taylor's just like this. She's a really sweet, bleeding heart,
sweet
like
girl.
And so she sang the song Bigger Than the Whole Sky, and the lyrics are like, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to figure out. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. Gives me chills thinking about it. But like the whole audience like knew it was for her. Oh. And it's like this really, really sad song about, we initially thought it was maybe about a miscarriage, but it's really about like, it's just about death, and it's just like about someone dying too young, probably, because I'm never gonna meet what could have been, should have been, what would have been you. Mm-hmm. And so that was her like tribute, and she got emotional during it, and then last night at the show she broke her heel.
Right,
and this is what I love is watching this clip of her breaking her heel, and it's right away. Like she broke it, I think, during her performance of The Man. So she's in the same outfit for the opening, which is Miss Americana, which is a verse and a chorus. And then she goes right into Cruel Summer, which is the whole song. And then she goes into The Man, which is the whole song. And then You Need to Calm Down. She's in these amazing boots, Louboutin boots. And the heel fucking snapped off right in the middle of The Man. Because at some point in The Man, you could see that it's off. And then she goes on to do Lover, which she's just standing for with her guitar at the microphone. And like, I guess if you would have told me this happened, I would have been like, oh, she'll say something about it and be like, well, my heel broke and the show's still going on. This bitch, she did not even address it. She just points that toe, acts like it's still there, because you know what Taylor has in mind? A lesser performer, i.e. me, thinking about what I would do in that scenario, I would call it out because I go, everyone's going to see this. Taylor knows most of the crowd does not see that her heel is split. And this is like a thing that people constantly think, when you go out and you like, I have a sty in my eye. I know, like you like get to it before other people can get to it. And people go, I would never even notice unless you told me. Taylor's smart enough to know I don't need to ruin this moment and make this about my broken heel. It's not a thing. Just act like it's there. Manifest that heel. So it's really cool to watch her play Lover because she's just pointing that toe and it's as if it's there. You're just
that
like,
must
but
be
it is not there.
That's hard. Wait, did the heel actually just pop off?
The whole heel, and it's like a 4-inch heel. So she's pointing her toe as if she has a 4-inch heel on it, and you can't tell at all. And she's walking around, and she's just walking on a pointed toe, like Barbie. Like her. It's just that little detail. I go, wow, that's how pro she is. She doesn't. Anyone else would have been fine, and she could have done a funny. I think her on a different tour would have called it out because but she is just now.
I don't think she stops for anything.
She's a queen.
Yeah.
She's just the best performer going. I'm just like obviously such a fan. So that's my whole Taylor tirade. We got to go to break, but when we get back, I want to hear about, this is my first time seeing you in a really long time.
I know.
Mother.
Have you missed?
You. It's too long. We're going to talk about your Paris vacation, your European vacation that you're back from.
All right.
After this. We're back. My mom, Brian, Noah are all here. Mom, you just got back from Paris and Amsterdam. Is those the two places?
Yes. Yes.
Did you go anywhere else?
Excuse me?
Did you go anywhere else?
No, I didn't go. No, actually, we did go. We went to Paris for a couple of days, and then we went to the countryside.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
This little town. I can't even tell you the name of it. That's pretty bad.
It's okay.
Anyway. Yeah, but we...
Alsace.
No.
Okay.
No, it's this town you would have you won't even have ever heard. No one knows.
Okay.
But anyway, it's all, like countryside, and there's a lot of forest, and we went there because we were invited because of a woman we were with. So
you went
went to visit my sister. She rented an apartment over there for 3 months. She's still there. And she invited us for a week.
To stay at the apartment?
Was
it so nice?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice place.
Yeah.
Really
Did you know
nice.
what she was paying?
No, I forget what she did tell me. I wasn't shocked.
Oh, okay. All right.
It might be
in Paris or in the countryside?
Yeah.
In Paris. It was a beautiful apartment building. But so gorgeous. And they have there's a name, I forget the architect that they're all copied from, but they all have a facial front, and then they have a courtyard on the inside. So all the apartments circle this this courtyard. So they all have lighting on all inside of their apartments, and it's just a really interesting thing.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm not grasping what you're trying to say.
I don't even know.
But you can see into other apartments. You feel like you're in
You
Amelie.
basically can.
It's like a rear window.
Yeah, you just can't leave your windows open because people can see right in.
Yeah.
But anyway, and this building is from 1800s.
Right.
So it's old. But anyway, we stayed there for a couple nights, and then we went to the countryside. But the biggest thing we did was go on this followed a hunt, which was turned out to be really crazy. That they actually let these hound dogs chase down a deer for miles and miles and hours until it wears itself down, and then they kill the deer.
Mm-hmm.
Which
the hounds do?
The hounds do.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch that?
Yeah, kind of saw some. And it was like
why do you
how do you view
this?
something like that? Is it like in the arena or something?
This is an historical thing that they've been doing for thousands of years. It's a castle. These castles.
So is rape.
Yeah, it was basically like a
how
rape.
come you can't watch those?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't watch that.
Just this whole thing of it's historical.
I know, it's weird, but
when you guys told me about this, I just assumed you wouldn't I assumed you'd go to the countryside, but I didn't assume you'd go on the hunt. How do you stomach that?
I didn't know how it was going to end. I just thought,
what? You just thought you were going to chase the deer and then the dogs were going to play with it?
I thought they corner the deer, and what normally happens is the head hunter slits the throat of the deer.
Oh, that's better.
Better than being slowly attacked by hound dogs and chewed up.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, was there a chance that the deer would get away, or is there just no chance?
No, he was actually. It took 3 hours to corner this deer.
3 hours?
Yeah, it was running back and forth. They're so smart. They know. They go get another deer and get these hounds on another deer. And so then they chase this other deer for a while.
Who's smart? The deers?
The deer are they figure this out.
Wow, it's almost like they're an intelligent creature that shouldn't be killed for fucking no reason.
No, it is. So we were shook up. We were like, oh my God, how does this happen? It's a big ceremony too. Mm-hmm. They have a mass.
Are you eating while all this is happening? I mean, 3 hours is a long time.
What are you doing for 3 hours? Are you in the back of a chariot?
I'm in the back of the Jeep.
Oh, a Jeep.
I'm in the back of a Jeep.
This deer
you're following these country people on horseback with they're dressed in regalia, with coats and hats, and I mean, there's
What a fucking bunch of dorks.
I mean, it looks like
this.
something out of no. I mean, I was filming the whole time, going, "Wow, this is crazy!" And somebody came up and they go, "You are not posting that, correct?" And I'm like,
Why? Because they know it's inhumane what they're doing?
"Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be." I mean, then I started looking it up, going, "Oh my god, I can't believe that." Probably they were very nervous about me posting this because it would, display exactly
Because
what goes
what
on.
they're doing is like
I mean,
eyes wide shut, like some weird, like kind of cult
it's
sex
kind of
stuff.
it's a weird thing, but it's like they've been doing it for thousands of years. But anyway, I was reading all about it, and in the countryside, there's all these castles and manor castles, and they all have these hunts. Everybody has a hunt,
Mhm.
and it's a thing they do there.
Mm.
It's very, you have to be invited to these things,
Oh.
so no one's really. It's not for the
They didn't expect you to come on a podcast, start gabbing about it. Now
No.
they're all upset.
You're gonna, someone's
They
gonna
don't-
start chasing
You
you.
spilled
down.
the
They're
tea.
not
You-
on
They don't know
face
what
for this
city
one.
it-
It's not going to
what
take 3 hours to catch you, by the way.
No, you guys know where I
Tire
am.
you out. That's
Anyway, that was crazy. And then we
did
were
you eat it?
No,
Did you Really?
no.
Well, what did they do with it?
They let they skin it and they give. They said they bag it up and they give all the the feeding parts to the peasants.
Ah, the peasants.
They're
of
still
course.
peasants?
That's what they say.
Does that just mean poor people?
That
What's
means the
going
poor-
on?
Well, I don't hate that.
That poor part, but they
why
call
don't
them
we
peasants.
have to chase it for 3 hours?
But
They
they-
can't. Isn't there better things to do with your time?
No, it's really
How do
it's
you-
a crazy thing to watch.
Haven't-
It's like
Why
I don't know.
Why don't they
Anyway.
just like watch Succession instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
even the
you
morning
can't-
show I would recommend.
no. This is 2,000 years of them doing this on the
gosh.
countryside.
Yes.
I
It's
get
just
it,
a
yeah.
weird,
weird
weird thing.
of things are protected by it's tradition. Though.
It's
Yeah.
tradition. It
It's
was
just the way it's
totally
always been done.
It's
so was
they're-
slavery,
right.
but
And-
it's tradition.
No, I
And
know.
you have to respect it. And you have
Listen,
to like,
I-
walk or, like tiptoe around all their bullshit. Ugh.
Listen, I wasn't endorsing this. I was just like going, wow.
Yeah.
At the end, and then there's a big, huge party at the castle and at dinner and dancing and celebratory shit.
Wow.
But then we went to Amsterdam.
Final thought. Yeah. Wait, you walked through the red light district. Isn't that wild?
Oh my! I thought
Did
of
you walk
you
in those
because I know
alleys where the girls are just like tapping the glass
Yeah.
and like trying to get your
Yeah.
attention? It's so nuts.
we didn't walk it down an alley. It was the main drag.
I mean, like, but then you would cut off. I know that's the main drag, but then you would cut down a little corridor, and they're right there, and they're like, it's like you're at the zoo.
I
it's
will
like you're
tell
at a
you,
museum.
I
and they're
was-
just behind this glass.
yeah, I was like looking at these girls. And then I was like going, kind of proud of them. Like,
Let's talk about that.
honestly, that they have the right to do whatever they want with their body. That if they want, no, listen.
This is a tricky subject because
I mean, well, they don't have to be behind this glass. Maybe they do. Maybe they're
I don't know how it works
pimped
over
out,
there,
but it's
but
a
like,
legal thing over there.
yes. So maybe they are collecting all the cash themselves, but there is oftentimes when it's presented like this woman is
I
just
agree.
owning her own stuff, and there's usually a man behind it collecting.
Well, it
things,
didn't
and
feel like that. It felt
it doesn't
like
feel that way. No.
it felt like she was on there on her own. She wanted to
Yes.
be there, and
And there's some old ones. There's some unfortunate looking ones. There's like some, it's
these
like,
girls all look pretty
Unfortunate.
pretty
looking.
good.
yeah, just
That's
like,
very
oh,
kind.
that, yeah, because you
But I
can't say
mean-
ugly, but like there were some ugly girls.
I feel bad that that's what they do to make money for them. But I
Some
say,
of them enjoy it.
Yeah.
For sure. And
So-
some of them look at it like, I look at things people do and I go, I would never fucking want
Right.
to do that all day. I'm trying to think of it like being
well, that wouldn't be
a
that would-
trainer. Like I go to a trainer and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm just another one of her clients. Like all day she just has to be like, hi, like with 9 different people, like, hey, okay, and then come
They
up with
love that.
but yes, I know, but I would hate that.
oh, yeah.
Like I'm saying, like there are things. Sex can be something that it's just obviously it can be joyless, but you just like get through it. It's like any kind of job. And
Well,
so
right.
I'm sure,
but
some
I
of
mean,
them-
it felt like they were there on their own accord.
yes,
but-
yes.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't. No, I don't think you are. I think, and that's just always the sensitive thing. I'm talking about porn a lot in my new stand-up special. That's I'm winning that Emmy for, or I won that Emmy for, and I'm talking about
porn.
my Yeah, but well, I've said that I would like to. There's a part of me that was like, oh, I could see myself doing porn, and you were like, you take that out of the reality show. I don't want people knowing you said that.
That out
because it's performative. That's what I like about it. It's like you're performing this thing, and you're doing something that people go like, I could never do that. There's something that's really interesting about that to me, but it's usually I don't like that it's met with like that's just you're disgusting, and I wouldn't do that because I'm disgusting. It's like, but you do this with your husband, but for some reason that's not discussed. Like it's
doing it with some gross guy is not good.
Well, maybe the guy's not gross to them, and maybe it's I wouldn't want to touch bodies all day, but some people massage people. Like there's some people that, but then
there are people who work in hospices who have to deal with dying
perfect example
wiping people's butts.
Yeah, fucking those people.
Yeah.
What? I'm just kidding.
I think you're taking this in the wrong direction.
But it is. I have that dilemma because I know there are lots of porn stars that are like, I love it and I chose this and this is exactly what I want to do. But then I feel like most of the stuff I watch is not that. It's women that are. This wasn't their first choice.
Okay.
And
you're going to win a Grammy for this.
Why would they have sex
Emmy.
with some guy when they could just go on like OnlyFans and start an OnlyFans and never have to touch anybody? Is there?
That's
an
interesting.
Get their online following going, or is there something
maybe
about
it's
doing
so
it
much
in
more
person
lucrative, and
do
maybe
it
you
in
can make
person?
so much in one night, and maybe it's it's probably financially just there's more money to be made in the red light district from just like horny dudes on bachelor parties.
But it is weird to be in this crowd that's shuffling so slowly past
through
these people.
It's like a museum, and you look in each window and you see this girl just adjusting her thong, licking her lips, making eye contact with you. We went to a live sex show.
Oh, I know.
You guys should have gone to that. It's so funny.
No, your dad wanted to. He said we should maybe. I'm like,
you should have gone.
It's
It's funny. It's not like even sexy. It's in Ted Lasso they said it's just tired people having sex, and that really is what it is.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I'll be bored.
You would. You would see a lot of yourself in it.
You know me too well.
But it was just. But it wasn't Amsterdam awesome, isn't it? Just the cutest?
It's such a cool. Everybody's so laid back, and everyone's so nice. I mean, I was looking for someone not nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about
in Paris. Were they not nice?
Yeah, they're nice in Paris too.
Or did you find like my fear of going to Paris is obviously like they're going to be like, oh, stupid American. Like
I never felt like that.
Like
everyone, everywhere we went, I was like, people talk about that, and it's not
kind of like the New York thing where they're like, New Yorkers are mean, and it's like that's just not. Doesn't
maybe
really
they're just
stereotype.
thinking it though. I mean, I have a friend who lives in Paris, and she was like, she's now lived there for a couple of years, and she's like, they hate
Americans.
everybody. They hate you if you're not Parisian enough. Imagine if you're an American.
Yeah.
They're just judgy.
I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel ever like.
Does everyone? I hear that everyone's like so. Is everyone stylish?
Yeah,
is
people
everyone
look pretty.
Thin? Is everyone smoking? Is everyone wearing like
a lot of smokers?
Really, like no one's dressed like in labels or like wearing a bunch of patterns.
It didn't look like
no sweatpants.
Oh no, there's
no like UGG boots. There's no like they're
Uggs.
no one's carrying a coffee cup walking down the street. Like everyone is like
they might be carrying coffee, but those are Americans. But no Uggs. You did not see like Uggs and sweatpants.
Like no one's dressed like grubby.
People dress nice to go just down the street.
Yeah,
it's like the 1800s.
Yeah, tradition.
Yeah,
it's another.
People are dressed nice to go watch the deer get tortured and killed.
Got it and killed.
God, that's such a weird thing you witnessed.
It was really.
I do not want to hear Dad talk about it. I know he's going to make it extra visceral just to like get at my vegan heart. I know he does that sometimes where he'll just like, it was actually really cool the way
he loves to talk about it.
The fear in the deer's eye. It was almost poetic.
That's bad for the meat anyway.
Yeah. Oh, how do you know that? That's
bad for the meat. That's why you have to. They can't.
That's
see it
why
coming.
they give it to the peasants,
or else the cortisol is coursing through their veins, and that spoils the meat. This is what I heard,
Brian.
Okay, speaking of veins, real quick, I'm like obviously I'm doing Pilates all the time now. And
so proud of you.
Thanks, me too. And it's a way of life, and it's so hard. It's not getting easier. So many besties sent me this video of this Pilates instructor that was being spoofed of like she's going like, and now your rib cage is a sweater. You're knitting it together. Knit it again. And 4, 3, knit. Now your belly, you scoop it like some scallion cream cheese. You scoop and you're going to scoop. 3, yes. And it's like, they talk in a different way. They have all these weird things that they say to get you to visualize stuff. It's really, I'm starting to love it. I'm starting to feel the thing that I always hated when people said, which was, I've heard the first time I ever heard about Pilates, this girl was like, my body has seriously transformed since doing Pilates. I have a different body. And I was just like, blech. But it's kind of true. It's like you just start, I've said it before, I feel like I'm learning to walk again. I feel as frustrated as you see like veterans who have lost their legs and they like, when they're struggling and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, I feel that way during this of like trying to engage certain muscles. And oftentimes they do say, pretend you're Lieutenant Dan and you have no muscles. Everything is from your core. So when you're doing leg stuff, they're like, don't work your leg muscles. It's like, I'll be doing a leg exercise. And she's like, pretend how you would do this if you were Lieutenant Dan. And I'm like, but he doesn't have legs. I'm using my leg. What does that even mean? But it's all because it's all core muscles. But I feel like him because I'm like, fuck this. This is frustrating. I fucking hate that I ever went to war. And I scream and I don't do that. But I worked so hard. But I was going to say, I was looking into my hamstrings are like my tightest area and my hips. Like I just want to be able to bend forward and not have this like low hunch. And then I've been looking into YouTube videos about stretching. And do you know that the reason you can't stretch and that you're limited in your stretching is very little to do with your muscles actually being tight, that you could do pretty much all stretches. It's in your fucking head. It's your nerves getting scared and then telling your body, no, you can't go any further. So it's really, once I learned that, I'm like, oh shit. Wow. So that's why a lot of stretches, you're supposed to like start slow and like teach your nerves, like, hey nerves, it's okay. Like I'm not going to hurt this person, because the second you go for a stretch, your body locks up immediately because your nerves send a signal to your brain going like, ow, 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 you can't do this. This is impossible. Your body is, if you stretch anymore, it'll rip something. But that's not true. You're able to move. It's your fucking head holding you back. Isn't that interesting? Brian, do you know anything about this?
I know that just disclaimer, like you shouldn't try to force yourself to overstretch something because something might snap. But you can get, like if you think you're just quote unquote not flexible, right? You can become flexible over time.
But there's a lot of mind to it as opposed to just like
there's a lot of mind to everything. Yeah.
I just didn't know that, I mean, I'm not saying it's all that. I do believe that there are tight muscles and that yeah, you can like pull something. I mean, we all know that.
That's what I'm thinking. Splits.
You like, I really do think you can. I think it's like, it's a matter of your brain getting in the way, going like, you can't do that. And I think that but it's so cemented in us to believe that your brain, your thoughts and your nerves, because it does hurt and your nerves are hurting. So it's sending a signal that it's something, and you think it's your muscles, but it's not. It's your nerves, and your nerves can move.
You got to ease into it. You got to ease into it slowly. I used to do that. There's a similar concept with starting strength, which is this workout thing where you would constantly make the weights heavier and heavier. And like they would say, like, you think you can't do 5 reps of that ridiculous weight, you can. And it's amazing how if you just get over the mental hurdle, you actually can squat that much weight 5 times. As long as you're building up to it, though. You can't just go out there and squat as much as The Rock. Then you'll really hurt yourself. Yeah, there's limitations. But Chris told me this anecdote yesterday of like there was some study where they put rats in a bucket and they exhausted them to the point where the rat drowns, right? Or like is about to drown. And I'm sure they didn't rescue him because science is cruel, but the rats drowned, let's say this is just a made up number, but they drowned at 18 minutes, right? So they took another batch of rats, and at 17 minutes, knowing that they're all going to give up at 18, they take them out at 17 minutes and they let them catch their breath for a couple minutes. They put them back in. And how long do you think those rats lasted?
17 minutes.
Like hours. Because the rat now thinks someone's going to come and get me. When the rat has no hope, it's going to give up so much sooner. So if you think that there's an end in sight, you can hold on for that much longer. Yes, that's learned helplessness. That's a major study on optimism where they would take, there was the one with dogs, and there's one with rats, where they would press a button and a pellet of food would come out.
And so they learned if they press this button, a pellet of food will come out. And then they brought the rats back in, they press the button and no food comes out. And then every once in a while they press the button and they get an electric shock.
Right.
And then they press the button and then food comes out and they get confused. And so now they keep pressing the button, they get shocked, there's nothing. And then eventually they just stop pressing the button and then they turn the food back on. If they were to press the button one more time, food would come out, but they have learned helplessness. And so they just sit there and they never press the button again.
So what do we learn from that?
We learned that it's possible to break someone's spirit in a way that would cause them to. So what we learned from it is we should be optimistic. One of your main goals for longevity is to always try to be in an optimistic mindset. Yes. Otherwise, if you learn helplessness, that's what you'll fall into a depression and you'll stop doing the things that could potentially keep you alive.
There's
and optimism
also another
will keep you alive longer. Optimism will elongate your life.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why old people are always like, I just laugh all the time. Like those, 103-year-old woman.
About anything.
Yeah, like I have like they're not usually like very stressful people. But another study, just real quick, there was one where they chased a deer for 3 hours, and what they learned from it at the very end after it was mauled by a bunch of dogs is nothing. They learned nothing. It was pointless, and
they're like, for another 1,000 years.
We learned this lesson in 1493, I guess.
Exactly. We need to keep repeating it, see if we get different results. All right, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. We will see you next week on the show. Make sure to get tickets to my show in Seattle. I am taping my comedy special, 7 o'clock, 9:30 shows. Dying for besties to be there. No, I cannot do a meet and greet that night. It's just not going to work out. I might come up with some way to meet up with besties maybe the next day or the day before or something, but I can't do it that night. I'm so sorry, but that doesn't mean I don't want you there and that I won't feel your love there. So get those tickets for Seattle, December 16th. Make a trip of it if you want. Fly out. I'd love to see you there. Can't wait for it. And I'll be in Brea next week with Brian Frangie. Oh no, not next week. I'll be in Detroit next week. I'll also be in Munhall, Pennsylvania next week. And then the following week, I'll be in Brea, California at the Brea Improv with Brian Frangie. So come out and see that. And then week after that, Seattle is my special taping. And then the Emmys. I got to get ready for those. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Don't be and just manifest that shit.